The Scottish electorate is unsettled. For a decade there have been surges and losses in the electoral fortunes of political parties. Two issues, independence and Brexit, have resulted in twists and turns in voter behaviour. Currently, the SNP holds the majority of Scotland's Westminster seats, but Labour hopes the electorate will spin towards them.
If I'm going to vote, I'm really thinking it should be maybe Labour.
They all lie, they never actually follow through with anything that they're going to do, so I find it really difficult.
Do you know who you're going to be voting for?
SNP.
Why is that?
Independence for Scotland. Get away from all the rubbish in the south. That's mainly it.
Vote no.
In the 2014 independence referendum, Scots voted no to becoming an independent country. Despite the yes side losing, the SNP won a landslide in the following year's general election. It's still the most popular party, but not as decisively. Mary Spowage is director of an independent research unit based at Strathclyde University. She says mixed messages are coming from the polls in Scotland.
Polls have had either Labour quite far ahead and the SNP behind. We've had polls more recently which have shown the SNP quite far ahead. So there's lots of different messages coming out of different polls, which means it's going to be really exciting to see what the ultimate outcome is in Scotland.
So how does independence play into all this?
It is relevant. It's definitely being talked about, but you can see that it's maybe appealing to some voters to lend their vote to Labour in this contest, potentially to get rid of the Tories at the UK level.
Voters in Scotland have gone to the polls 8 times in the last 10 years. There's the Scottish independence referendum, the Brexit referendum, 2 elections for the Scottish Parliament in Edinburgh, and 4 UK-wide general elections. The polls in Scotland tell a very different story than the polls in England, but what the data suggests is that the electoral geography of Scotland will change, and the only question is by how much. The sheer number of elections and referendums since 2014 has been a destabilising experience for Scottish voters. They barely have long enough to catch their breath after one election cycle before another begins. And around they go again. Claire Herriot, TRT World, Glasgow.